Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English with me, your host, Mr. Z, and my broken English. Today I'm presenting an American car, a Cadillac Escalade ESV, the long version. Cadillac started the Escalade in 1999, presenting America a premium SUV, full-size premium SUV. It took them a while. Now last year in 2014 they presented the 4th generation. That's the one we are driving, and it is available in Europe now starting April 2015. In Europe you get two different versions, the Cadillac Escalade, which has a length of 5 meters and 18, and the Cadillac Escalade ESV, that's our model, with a length of 5 meters and 70 centimeters. Cadillac wanted to sell 200 units in Europe this year, and it's already sold out, so I have no idea if you can still order one. It's a little bit difficult, I think, thinking about Cadillac in Europe, especially in Germany. In Germany we only have 12 dealers that really deal and sell new Cadillacs, and that's not really a whole lot for our tiny country. We do have competitors, even a German brand. I think the Mercedes GL is a competitor, as well as the Range Rover. Boys in the hood, engine under the hood. Here we find the engine of our test car. It's a 6.2 liter V8 with direct injection and cylinders on demand, which means this engine can run as a V8 or V4, depending how much power you need, and you really feel it in terms of fuel consumption. It has 426 horses, and it's good for maximum torque of 610 Newton meters, and you get the maximum torque at 4,100 RPM. The Escalade comes with all-wheel drive, but you have a switch inside, so you can choose between rear-wheel drive, automatic, so it looks whenever it needs more torque, then it takes it from rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, or you drive with permanent all-wheel drive. Then the torque goes 50% to the rear and 50% to the front. You always have, you don't have to shift yourself. There's always a 6-speed automatic transmission built in, and that's the only engine and transmission you can get in Europe so far. The last model had a hybrid engine as well. It's not available now. I can imagine that they are working on a plug-in hybrid, so maybe next year we will see another engine here. Let me give you the basic facts about the Escalade. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 6.9 seconds. Top speed is reached at 180 kilometers per hour or 112 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2015 Cadillac Escalade ESV is good for 117 liters, which equals 31 gallons. Cadillac claims a fuel consumption of 13.1 liters on 100 kilometers or 17.9 miles per gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 890 kilometers or 550 miles without getting gas. The Escalade ESV has a length of 5.7 meters, which equals 224 inches, with a wheelbase of 3.3 meters equals 130 inches. Its height is 1.88 meters, which equals 74 inches, and it is 2.06 meters wide, which equals 81 inches. As of the turn radius, you need at least 13.1 meters of free space or 516 inches. The curb weight is 2,857 kilograms or 6,299 pounds. The admissible total weight is 3,402 kilograms, which equals 7,500 pounds. In Germany, our test car would cost around 110,000 euros. A while ago, Cadillac presented a concept car with the name CL, and I really think that the new generation of the Escalade comes with some of the elements, especially the light. Looks pretty much like it, and so this whole car looks much more modern. We've been in a big traffic jam yesterday on our way to Berlin, and so I had a chance to really compare the new model to an older model which was standing in the traffic jam next to us, and so I think it's really a big jump. This car looks much more modern and futuristic, and it's probably most likely due to the lighting system, which is, by the way, always part of the factory setting you can order in Europe. In Europe we just have two option lines. I think in America you have 4. In Europe we just have 2. The smaller one is premium, and the other one is platinum, and we got the platinum one. And you should be able to tell it's a platinum Cadillac Escalade because the grille looks a little bit different. I haven't seen the other version, so I can't really tell. By the way, the full LED headlights come with IntelliBeam, which means that your high beams turn on automatically if you go faster than 50 kilometers per hour during nighttime, and whenever there's another light source it goes back to the normal light, and whenever the other light source is out of your way it turns on the high beams again. Funny, so the turning signal just has a normal light bulb in there. In Europe, you have the choice between 7 different colors for the Escalade. Our color right here is called Majestic Plum Metallic and costs a little bit extra. I personally would prefer black, which is called Raven Black. Besides that, the Escalade always stands on 22-inch alloys. With the Platinum package or option line, you get this just this set of alloys, while with the premium set you have 2 different other alloys, and these come with chrome inlays. What I really like and think it's kind of sexy are the handles on the door, because in nighttime they're illuminated. You have an LED stripe right on them, and my personal favorite feature, once you open the door, the thing slides out and you can, stand here pretty easy. Well, I'm not really sure what to tell you about the rear of the Escalade, except that this P does not stand for premium, of course, but for platinum. Anyway, I think the whole back is dominated by these long rear lights in full LED technique as well. If you're wondering, well, we got this V8, so where's the big exhaust pipe? Well, it's hidden, but it's big, I promise. Besides that, I think a neat, funny feature about this car, it has a windscreen wiper. It's hidden down here, but it just wipes just a very little bit, so actually they could have spared this out somehow. Enough from the exterior, now let's have a look inside. And it is, by the way, really easy to just step on here and then hop into the seat. You can reach the door easily, and it closes easily as well. Welcome inside the Cadillac Escalade, or I would rather say welcome in my American living room. And it starts at the Platinum edition, comes with velour on the ceiling, which gives the car quite a nice and comfy look. Well, we Europeans, especially we Germans, are very nose-up, stuck up when it comes to cars. Actually, we think we're the only nation that can really build cars. When we think about American car manufacturers, we're like, oh yeah, all this plastic, it looks so cheap. No, just German cars look good. Well, okay. The Escalade is indeed very different. You got leather or Alcantara or glossy black paint or wooden application all over the car. You hardly find plastic in here. Maybe here, you know, that's pretty much, and here. That's pretty much it, all I can find. Everything else is just fine and good feeling, good touching material, and I feel really nice and comfy in here. Of course, I have lots of space. I'm 180 centimeters tall, I have headroom and space for my legs. It was so easy to find a comfortable sitting position, and even my mate Tobias, who is 195 centimeters tall, so 6'5", he had no problems finding a good sitting position in here. And you feel the space as well. If you look to the side, just this big middle part gives you an idea how really huge this car feels. And so to the passenger, I feel tempted to, you know, use a walkie-talkie or something to talk with him because he feels so far away. And yeah, talking about using this car, you know, feeling it, having a comfortable reach for everything. I was first a little bit irritated with the stick here to put in the driving programs, but then I'm used to old American cars and I felt home at once. For most Europeans, this might be a little bit irritating, especially because you have all the other functions on just one stick here. So the whole windscreen wipers, front, back, the turning signal, and so on, it's all on one stick. But besides that the center is not facing me, everything is clear and easy to learn. It took me a day and I was feeling home in this car already. So, thumbs up, Cadillac. Yeah, well, our regular program starts with you can adjust the height of the seatbelt on your shoulder, and that's the length of the seatbelt. So it's an American car. No one should be having problems to buckle up with ease. Those seats I'm sitting in, it feels like a sofa. I really enjoy them. They're covered with perforated leather because you can not only heat them but cool them down as well. But you can't do it together. So it's either heating or cooling down. Besides that, you can adjust the seats electrically in 18 ways. You can adjust not only, you know, forwards and backwards, up and down, bend this way, adjust the backrest, but you can also adjust the side support, and the lumbar support has various functions. Besides that, you have 3 different massage functions, and I like this one that really massages your butt from the bottom. You know, I know from European cars or other cars that you can get a massage for your back, but never for your butt. This one is massaging your butt as well. It's called revitalizing or something. And I think that's pretty neat. Neat function indeed. Anything else about the seats? They're comfortable. I think they're really comfortable, especially with the massage function. You can do longer trips. We drove yesterday and the day before yesterday, each day about 5 hours, I guess. So we had no problems with the seats and the comfort or with our bags. Okay, the steering wheel is adjustable as well electrically, and I will do all the turn for you. Very out, very low. You now put it in. And I think it's much faster than the systems from Mercedes or BMW or even Audi. So that's a good thing. You can heat it up. You have a button right here. And I like if you turn off the car, shut it down, it's just black in here. And whenever you turn the ignition on, you see the labels of the buttons because they are illuminated. That's pretty neat. Okay, yeah, you can heat them up. On the steering wheel, we do have buttons, as I said. On the left side, we have buttons to control the adaptive cruise control, the collision assist. I can enable voice control. I can turn off my phone, end a call and turn on the heating for the steering wheel. And on the other side, I can adjust stuff from the infotainment systems, volume and skipping songs or stations, as well as I can use the whole board computer setting for the huge display here that we have instead of round gauges. Besides that, I haven't mentioned it, but the steering wheel is coated with leather, of course, and we have a wooden application in here as well. Talking about the mirrors that you can electrically fold to the car and of course electrically adjust as well. They're kind of funny because they are trying to be big, but then they made them a little bit smaller. Anyway, you can see everything that you need. They're big enough to see the end of the car, and they're good for maneuvering the car in parking spots. Besides that, we do have not only a rear camera by factory setting, but a bird view, a 360-degree camera, which I really like, and it's really useful for this car, at least in Germany, because you have tighter roads, you have, parking spots that are really tight for this car, and here you can really see from the bird view how much space you have to each side. But I have to say, the camera really sucks. The quality of all four cameras is really weak, and the picture always during daytime looks kind of overexposed, and during nighttime you can hardly see it. And all the cameras are not protected against rain, so when it rains, you get this blurry stuff on the cameras and you can hardly use the system, which is kind of sad because overall it's a good and handy system for this car. Turning my head around, I have problems with the B-pillar because there's a handle for the rear passengers to jump in the car. That's in my way, so I do have a blind spot here. And over the other shoulder, this is just big. It would work, but the C-pillar is huge, and we have the seat off the second seat row there, that I can hardly see anything through the window, which is behind there between the C and the D-pillar. The D-pillar is pretty huge as well, so this car is really not good in terms of overview, I might say. No, I don't like it. So it's even better we have this big mirrors and the 360-degree camera in here. Okay, and now I have to start the car and I like the sound too, yeah, to go through the menu, because behind the steering wheel we don't find classical round gauges, but a 12.3-inch display. We have 3 different views we can choose from, which I really like, and here, greetings to Audi, virtual cockpit, 2 views, or Mercedes S-Class, 1 view. So I like this. We have 4 different views, and everyone would like at least one of them, I think. It's one simple, one other one sporty. This one is just for everyone, I guess, and I like it. I used it the whole time. In the center, I have the speedometer going up to 280 kilometers per hour. Yeah, Cadillac, I'm down with you. The car goes 180. The speedometer shows 280, and it's digital. Please change this. That's just waste. On the left side, we have the RPM meter going up to 6,000 RPM, and on the right side, we have a virtual round gauge showing the temperature of the engine as well as the gas tank, or how much is left in the gas tank. In each round gauge, you can choose what you want to see, even the pointer, or on the left side, the board computer, with the current trip settings, the reach, how much you currently use. By the way, since we have cylinders on demand, I always had this view on so I can see is the V8 working now or the V4. Wrong direction. So we can see the arrows of the navigation system here in a different view, and the current fuel consumption. Oh no, wrong direction. How much power we have from the battery, when you have to do the oil change, and how much hours the engine got. in the center of this gauge, so the speedometer, we can choose between the needle or a digital speed, the navigation system, and the settings menu. And on the right side, there's space for what you're listening to from the infotainment system, or another view of the navigation system, or a view for your telephone. Besides that, we do have a head-up display, which I like. It's easy to adjust in height. You know, Toby and I, we have different point of views to the head-up display, but we had no problems finding the right setting for our view. And you can choose between different modes of the head-up as well. A simple one just showing you the current speed and the speed of the ACC and all warnings. Or you have a setting for the multimedia, for the infotainment system, or a sporty view where you see the RPM meter as a gauge as well. Besides that, you get the instructions from the navigation system to the head-up display as well. So these are 12.3 inch. The screen of the infotainment system has 8 inch. While you can always read this with ease, here you have problems when the sun shines on the display. It's a touch display, by the way, which gives you feedback as well, not only sound, but it's kind of a little bit shaking or vibrating once you hit one of the buttons you have here. And it works fine so far. I'm just, used to European stuff where you have buttons for the different functions. They're not in the display, but down here. By the way, you have, I forgot the word, I'm sorry. If you, put your hands this way, you get different functions. And by the way, to control the volume, you have to slide over this piece here. And it gives you a haptical feedback as well. Oh, here's at least a home button. Fine. Yeah, I haven't even used this. Interesting. I'm still learning, and I've drove this car about 6 days now. Yeah, that's pretty much it from this, and I can turn the engine off as well. We don't really have an ambient light, but as you can see, we have a sunroof. You can close the shade manually. I was really surprised. And we have 2 buttons to control the sunroof. One is to tilt it, just open it in the end, and the other one is to fully open it. We just drove on the Autobahn with slower speed, and it was fine. You get a lot of air in there, it's not too loud, everything's just fine. Yeah, and then overall, the honk, I have to honk the horn, sounds like this. You hardly see much in the inner mirror, because first of all you see the headrest of the second seat row, then you see the headrest of the third seat row and the third seat row as well if it's standing up. Besides that, the rear window looks pretty small all the way through the car, and you should really get used to drive with both outer mirrors instead of using this one, especially if you're taller, because Toby pointed out, if you sit high and you want to adjust it up, it's just banging against this part. You can, really put it down, but there's no way to put it up in a suitable way. So Toby had problems with his 195 centimeters or 6'5" to see good in this rear mirror. Alright, rocking through all the compartments, and I should really need a glass of water because I have to talk so much. Down in the door panels we have space for this 1.5 liter bottle first. Then there's another slot for a second bottle. I put this half a liter bottle in there, but I'm pretty sure there will be space for 1 liter bottle as well. And next to that we even have a little more space for anything else. Above we have another little compartment that just puts some paper in here. Here's the grip to close the door or to have a grip, and you can put at least some coins in here, so I at least name it. Next compartment is hidden here under this touch field, and I could easily put my iPhone in here. It is illuminated by a light, and it has an illuminated blue illuminated USB port. Number 1, I'm saying. And I close it again. So this might look like a living room table for you. Actually, there are 2 compartments in here, and I would like to open them. In the first one, there's space for tiny stuff. I could put my iPhone in here as well. And we have a 12-volt outlet and USB port number 2 and 3, as well as a switch, which I will explain in a second. Then we have 2 cup holders here that have the spacers, and I like how the spacers look. So we can put bottles up to, oh, it's not even a half-liter bottle, it's a 0.75 liter bottle, by the way. But everything should fit in here with ease. Then on the armrest, it's separated in 3 parts, actually: driver, passenger, and center part, perforated leather here. And in between there's some anti-slip rubber stuff with a little icon that shows power, because here you can load your phone if it's supporting inductive charging. Pretty neat, but me being an Apple slave, it's not working for me. You can open the armrest, but you can adjust it in any way. So opening this baby, we find USB port number 4 and 5 just for the front. Amazing. An aux in or line in, and an SD card reader, another 12-volt outlet, and yippee-hey, a cooler. That's awesome. A cooler with space for at least 6 cans of, I'm not saying beer, but you know what I mean. So that's pretty neat. And here is a switch for the cooler. So lots of space over here. The gloves compartment has no opener here. You just push this button and it opens electrically. We have space for some stuff here and the manual. And besides that, besides the manual, there's not much space for anything else except the ashtray. And yes, I'm a smoker, but I never smoke in test cars, of course. Actually, I never smoke in cars. Oh, that's a lie. No, I try to avoid smoking in cars when anyone else is riding with me. Okay, next topic, please. We have shades here, and I'm really fascinated by the makeup mirrors. This makeup mirror is almost as big as the mirror in my bath. No, I'm just lying. But it has at least the size of an iPhone 6 Plus, and it's illuminated from both sides. Really like those. We have reading lights, of course, for the passenger and the driver. We can put on both lights together and just disable it. Here we have coming home function buttons as well, turner or another switch where I can adjust how far the back door is supposed to open, like 3/4 or fully or not at all. And I have 2 buttons to control the sunroof. You can order the Escalade as a 7-seater or an 8-seater. We do have the 7-seat version. And it's easy to climb in the back as well. By the way, we just have 2 seats in the 2nd row. So to get in the 3rd row, all I have to do is corner the seat I'm sitting on, and I don't have to get in here again. The door is easy to close as well. Welcome in the 2nd seat row. I was a little bit surprised that the space we got here in the 2nd seat row is not as comfortable as you would think because of the size of this car. I mean, this seat is put in my driving position. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11". And I can sit here just all right, but I would have expected even more space for my legs, for instance. I have enough space for my head, and even Tobias with his 195 centimeters of height, so 6'5", can sit here fine because the ceiling is sort of rising up here. So he could sit here fine with his legs and has enough headspace as well. We do have, by the way, Isofix holders here in both seats. The locks of the safety belts are not stiff, so kids might have problems buckling up. And for my taste, the seat belts could be a little bit longer to buckle up baby shelves or child seats. The windows have tinted glass. They fold down, power driven all the way, so this is nice. But rolling them up, you have to push the button, so there's no automatic setting. And once you do this, there's no protection. You get really harmed. It hurts. It really hurts. Okay, compartments. In the door, we have enough space for a liter bottle, even this is not a liter bottle. And next to it is still another little bit of space. Up there is another little compartment, just enough space for this remote control. And on the same height, we have another compartment. Here's a grip, which is good for a compartment as well. We have a little cup holder here, not with spacers, but this bottle would fit in here. This 0.75 liter bottle, and there's another compartment, and both of them are supposed to have anti-slip surface, but that's hard plastic, so I don't think it really helps against slipping. In the back of the front seats, we have a little bag for magazines. Here's another bag. Down here we have a power outlet for at least American normal plugs, and here's another 12-volt outlet. Over this little bag we have a control panel with an USB plug, cinch plugs, I think earphone plug, volume, and an SD card reader. This display is for the third climate zone, so you have 3 climate zones, and here you can heat both of the seats as well. We have handles, I told you, on all 4 doors, and here we have a little hook for your jacket, and here's another handle for jumping in the car. The air outlets are up in the ceiling. You can open, close them, and rotate them. We have reading lights here for both seats. And now with the infotainment, we have little 7-inch displays in the headrest of the front seats. So I can choose between either inserting a DVD in here, the slot is up here, or using the USB device or even the cinch device. So in the back, in the second row, we have at least 3 USB plugs, which I really like. Besides that, if I watch a movie here, insert in a DVD in here, I can watch the same DVD over there, or I can use different DVDs on both gadgets. I can adjust the screen, by the way, so I can see it all right. However, you know, how tall the person is. Besides that, the car comes with 2 USB headphones, and I'm wondering why just 2, because, you know, there could be sitting a couple of people in the back in the third row. So, but if you don't want to use the USB ones, you can at least use some earphones with wires. And here we have a third display. Both of them, they are 7-inch, and here we have a 9-inch display, which is meant for the passengers in the third row. And I can use different pictures here or different sources. And I can even watch Blu-rays now using the player in the very front from the Q infotainment system. And as you can see, Toby is just watching a clip in the front while I do all the hard work, and he's watching high fidelity now. Okay, I will just close this. And that's pretty much from this row. Welcome in the third seat row. As a grown-up, I do have problems sitting here on the outer place because my legs don't really have any space. Well, I could, you know, use maybe one leg, but then the person in the middle should have problems. So this is just a pain and might work for a few kilometers or miles, but nothing more. But since I'm sitting here, we have the air outlets in the ceiling as well, just two, but we have 3 seats. We have 2 reading lights, but 3 seats. We have hooks on both sides, and here I do have 2 cup holders. One is big enough for my 1.75 liter bottle, and the other one big enough for this 1 liter bottle. Besides that, we have a 12-volt outlet here as well. On the other side, we have a little compartment, good for nothing actually, and another cup holder for a liter bottle. There are no Isofix hook on the whole rear bench, and if I scoot in the middle, you know, as a grown-up, I might think, you know, 2 child seats on the outer seats and 1 grown-up having or being able to stretch his legs to the front. Doesn't work either because I'm sitting on the locks of the safety belts. Besides that, the safety belts are not stiff, they're hanging in here, so kids will even have problems buckling up. And just testing the safety belt in the middle. It's not really, no, it's not long at all. That's kind of scary. Just wondering if the other ones are longer. Not really. Well, yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. The whole third row is, for me at least, for my taste, a little bit disappointing. We do find a button here next to the seat in the second row with which the seat flips one time and then another time. And yes, now I could sit here with even lots of leg room, but I really don't think that this is good for your safety because it's not stable, so once the driver brakes it might slip down a little bit. We have 3 ways to open the trunk. First of all, the switch in the console in the ceiling at the driver's seat. Second, here the switch behind the handle. And third, the key itself, and I always like to show you the key. On one side there's a Cadillac badge, on the other side 6 buttons. First of all, with a double click I can open the window. So I can load stuff in here quick and easily because that flips off pretty quickly. And here we have this hidden windscreen wiper. And then another one, double click on the other button and the whole door opens. And since we have the third seat row used, there's just a little space for our tripod case. Below there's a little compartment, I can open it, and here we have the warning triangle, warning vest, the first aid kit and some other stuff. Besides that you don't see anything, just these 2 round things to tie things up. But we have some buttons here, so we can flip electrically the third seat row in relation 40 to 60, and we can not only flip it down, we can lift it up as well, so it comes up electrically as well. While the second seat row is we can flip it here electrically as well, but it's not coming up again. I just measured everything for you. We have a wide in here, or width of 124 centimeters. If I have the third seat row up, we have a depth of 34 centimeters. If we have the second seat row up and the third one down, we have 114 centimeters. And all the way from the end till here it's around 2 meters, so 200 centimeters. So it's quite some space. It's not plain, it's rising up here to the middle of the car, and we still have this hole for whatever it's good for then. I found 3 values for the volumina of the trunk on the Cadillac side, and I'm really not sure which one is the right one, because first of all they say 39 cubic inch no, cubic foot, I'm sorry. I think they might think about flipping the third seat row, and then the value doubles, and I think it's for when you flip the other seats as well. But then this is another one saying even around 30 cubic foot more, and I've really no idea what they mean with this value. In liters, we have 1,100 liters as a first value, 2,200 for a second value, and 3,400 something as a third value, and I can't really figure out what value they mean for whatever. First of all, if I want to lift something in the trunk, I have to lift it around 95 centimeters. That's quite a bit. And surprisingly, you can only store 545 kilograms inside the Escalade, and just thinking about 7 persons and just 545 kilograms, which is, by the way, around 1,202 pounds. For such a huge car, it's kind of surprising for me. I found no value how much you can store on the roof, but honestly, if you travel with 5 persons, you don't have to think about the roof even, because there will be enough in the car already. If you install a hook, you can pull trailers, of course. If you have the shorter version, you can pull trailers up to a weight, if they have their own brake, up to 3.1 tons. Our version should be allowed to pull trailers up to 3 tons, but since we have the seats in the second seat row that are separated and can flip, we can only pull trailers up to a weight of 2.6 tons. Let me share my driving experience with the Cadillac Escalade ESV. I was quite pleased. When I first got into the car, my first ride, I was like, actually a little bit scary, because this car looks so massive from the outside that you have the feeling, okay, now I'm driving a tank. I hope I don't, break anything. But surprise, surprise, it does drive like a normal car. It's just a little bit bigger, and once you keep this in mind, it's fine. You sit high and you can see everything. All the mirrors work fine for you. Driving the car in the city, in a German city, is quite challenging because you have this big car, but once you get used to it, and I got used to it in between a day, it's just fine. If you have very narrow spaces, like 2 cars parking from each side, well, you just drive slowly, and you put the car in reverse to get the bird view, the 360-degree camera, and it helps you a lot to pass narrow spaces. So overall, yes, you have to take care a little bit of the car and the surrounding, but you can drive it as a regular car. I was really pleased. It is more or less a good cruiser. It's not a sporty car. I mean, 3 tons almost. That's not a sporty car. But once you hit the throttle, it really jumps forward, and I like it. That's cool. And it's a really silent runner. That's what I like too. Unless you really hit the throttle, then you hear the V8 and it's like, all right, yeah, I got a massive engine under the hood. But most likely, if you just cruise around, it's a really silent drive. You hardly hear wind noises. It's a real pleasure to drive it. Besides, we have this magnetic ride control suspension. So you have 2 settings, either Sport or Tour. And in Sport, it gets a little bit stiffer, but not really stiff. But it's nice to drive on the Autobahn a little bit faster. I was really pleased about the fuel consumption. Cadillac says 13.1 liters on 100 kilometers, and we got a consumption here over 1,000 kilometers, round about 14.4 liters. So we never got closer to whatever the manufacturer says, and I'm quite pleased. Yes, we did quite a few kilometers on the Autobahn, driving around 130, 140, but we did speed a little bit in between as well, and we cruised around Berlin. What a clever idea to take this car to Berlin. I'm telling you, boy, I'm such a smart boy. However, I'm quite pleased. Especially the cylinders on demand, when you drive on the Autobahn with 130, you know, it stops 4 of the 8 cylinders, and you really see how you can save gas this way. Besides that, you do have the power when you need it. You can accelerate pretty fast if you really want to. Just keep in mind you're wasting gas, you know. The brakes, by the way, work fine for this car. I had no problems at all. Keeping in mind that it's such a massive car with such a weight, you have to have good brakes, but no problems with the brakes. I'm quite pleased with the steering as well. For such a massive car with those 22-inch alloys down there and those really big tires, it's really easy to steer. We had no problem steering. And it's pretty sensitive too, not in a bad way, in a good way, and it gives you even feedback. So I think the steering surprised me the very most. Back to the suspension ones, even in the touring mode, which is supposed to be more the comfort mode, yes, still overall it's an SUV, so you feel the potholes and all that. But the seats do their part, that your back is not getting harmed in any way. And even driving through narrow curves a little bit faster is fine. You don't have the feeling like, ooh, it's flipping or anything. Actually, it's working pretty fine. So I have to overtake someone here real quick. I have rather mixed feeling about the automatic transmission. It works fine once you just drive in a smooth way. It's even fine when you accelerate, but in conjunction or in working together with the ACC, the adaptive cruise control, it's doing some stuff that I don't really like. First of all, the ACC, when you encounter a car or a truck in front of you, it slows down pretty rapidly. And then if the truck is out of your way, it starts accelerating in a strange way. Not really fast, not really slow, something in between, and I don't like that. So actually the suspension works fine. You can even shift manually if you want to. Yeah, it left me with some doubts, let's put it this way. Thinking about the assist systems we find in here, we have a blind spot warner, a little picture in the mirrors, in the rear mirrors, that is illuminated once someone is in your blind spot, works fine. If you put the turning signal to the direction, it even blinks, so it's a good warner. I told you I don't like the adaptive cruise control. It's not working for me, at least. I'm a big fan of head-up displays in general already, and this one works fine, gives you all the information. It's good to read and helpful, so you don't have to lower your eyes. You can keep your eyes on the streets. I like that. We never had the chance to really test the collision assist or the collision warner. And we have a lane keeping assist or lane departure warner, which works fine in recognizing the lanes, but once you cross the lanes, it just vibrates in the seats. And especially if you have the massage function going, which I hardly used, of course, you know, and I'm not using it right now, really, I promise, then you hardly feel it. So I would suggest to have rather some other sort of signal. As well, the high beam assist, you know, that it turns off the high beams once someone else is or some light is in the way of the camera. It did not please me too well either. There are more intelligent solutions by now on the market. I got used to the Q infotainment system. It's not too bad. Unfortunately, it's not the newest version. They just announced that they will have a version that will support Apple CarPlay. However, this one is fine. It's easy to use. You get used to it pretty fast. We have 16 speakers here by Bose in the car, and it's really fun to listen to music. It's more of an American system, so it's well, you know, like hip-hop music works better than classical music. But overall, I was quite impressed. It's a good sound. I like it. One thing the Q system does not do, and I was quite amazed, once I have hooked up my iPhone via Bluetooth, it's working fine. But if I have it via cable, in here I cannot use the Spotify app on my iPhone. I don't know why. It plays like one or two sounds and then it stops and jumps back to the Apple Music app. For whatever reason, I don't know. I'm coming to the end of my review of the Cadillac Escalade, the long version, the ESV. Let me sum up. My driving experience was la. I kind of like the car. I like how you can cruise with it. It is obviously a little bit too big for our tight cities. However, the comfort I really like. I like the suspension. It really works fine for me. In either ways, comfort and sport, they both make sense to me. I like the power of the V8. I like the fuel consumption of the V4. Everything together builds up a picture for me that I think it's quite an interesting car. But I'm so damn European and I'm so damn stuck up that I still have problems with it. It's just too big for my taste, and a big car with not really lots of space inside. I was really surprised that there's hardly any space in the third row, in the trunk, for such a huge car. We're talking about a length of 5.7 meters, and I think they could have made a little bit more out of that. The interior is fine, the comfort is great, it's a silent car, it's a good runner, and you get quite a few looks over here in Germany for it. I hope I didn't offend anyone over from the US. I'm sorry if I did. It's just me, stuck up German. What can I do? I can't even talk your language probably. For anyone else, I hope you had a nice insight. If you have any questions, please put them below in the comments field. If you like this clip, even you Americans, if you like this clip, please give me a thumb up. I'm a little bit afraid I will get a lot of thumbs down this time. And if you want to, please share them on all your networks. I'm saying goodbye. I was your host, Mr. Z, with his broken English. Tune in next time when it's again Ausfahrt.tv with an English review. Bye-bye.